Greetings to everyone, and let us. Did you hear me well? Is everything fine?
Really?
What's going on?
Yeah, sounds slow. Good.
Can you hear me now better? Okay.
The computer server
Oh, I see. Should I be saying something so that you can check the sound?
Say something.
I'm saying something. Or if you can hear me well.
Yeah.
Okay. I can only hear Yeshala. Oh, now I can hear myself.
Okay, we can hear you now, Anastasia.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yes. So greetings to everyone. Let us meditate and set up our motivation.
I
did say. I'll repeat it again. So greetings to everyone, and let us set up a motivation for today, and for that we will meditate. Good. Okay.
Yeah. That's good.
All right. Should I repeat again?
Should
I repeat again?
Haya danzo gulong gomji kya gosro gulong gomdi da tanda zinda nya de suji we tanda mayin ba ne chit jo simjin chen phama ba shi du ya chi de ne zinda nyingi yin tinde gulong shenbian ji gulong ja wo resro.
So our motivation for listening to the teachings is to not only for one's own benefit, but for the benefit of all sentient beings. So the motivation is vast.
Haya da zo kawa komro ni da trin aranzo yangja dinde ni chöji amjo ni chongwa de gewa sangbo yin sro ta ro da tizu tande tizu de ngzo mi mangbo shibi chi dungyi nyonda nyonshin bare na aranzo tanda dinde ge dungyi mewa zamase chik chö ni samlo tang hlo je de kugab dinde jirawa de ni be yawo yin yawo re ro yawo re yawo yimba di yimba sheba che gore sro.
So rejoice in your good luck, because today again you have this opportunity to listen to the teachings, and it's really fortunate. We are really fortunate because especially these days so many people suffer. Sorry, there are so many noises around. I hope it doesn't bother you. So nowadays many people suffer, and we on the other hand, we do not suffer, and we can still come to the teachings and listen to them in a relaxed manner, and acknowledging that we have this good fortune. will bring us benefit as well. It is great that we have it.
야, 다 너는 시럽스야, 다 메제나라 계정 보시오잖아. 시럽스와. 시럽면은 아니 너 다단다. 잠불링나게 강에 먹고 쉬어지디 시럽매바 오게. 시럽매도 내다 마시로. 내다 마시. 시사다 잠불링기 지. 먼저 구육박도 줘야 돼서 엄마 근데 소다 먹고 쓰니 망원아야 동해 먹고 용구여디 신기요 말와 동해 먹고든데 용구여 시네 소다 먹고디 소고 말와 룸데 간데 요만디 마신 버체 델라디네 먼저 내가 논두 먹고 직칭 안데 왕기 동해 먹고 식차도 제가 최사다 제가 중사 김자 근데 수수 게르수수 매제매제 나게 동해 먹고 쉬어지 메시베 온게 시라메베 온게 내다 하모고베 온게 먼저 동해 뇽데바디 당하서 삼노다나 내다 딘디 차데 요레스로
Il soda senna karja.
아우
Soda senna karja.
그래 소다 컴퍼니
Ah.
소다
So in Tibetan, sharab means wisdom. So wisdom is very important in all aspects of our life, including our daily life, because we can see that in this world, so many problems happen because people do not understand the reality. They don't understand what situation they're in and what situation they're creating. They make a lot of mistakes, and these mistakes bring suffering to them and to others. I'm not sure what about company.
소다 망고 전에 다 등산 가서 잠블링 pollution 차대로 디 잘라다면서 코육 박서 따라와 어디리
And for example, people build so many factories. So company, it's a factory, and those factories, they pollute our environment. So this type of mistakes come from lacking wisdom and lacking understanding and knowledge. And it's not only on the individual level that humans harm each other, but also on a level of the countries, for example. All those conflicts, they happen because people do not understand what reality is, and then those major conflicts arise.
지나다 먼저 기시 황동고 직시의 시심벌에 다데 책디 생대 직ገብ제는 시내당 황동니디 송두 대제는 알아서 메제나야 삼단단 돌아기제 데시셔나스로
Last time we spoke about a special insight, and I think we didn't get to do the word-to-word explanation of the verse, so we'll do it now. And it's good to talk about calm abiding united with the special insight and how we apply it in our daily life.
다쇼탄데 책제 숨지탄 바드레로 시라메나 파르칭아이 소외 전주토와 미뉴비스 탑단데시 콜소미도베 시라공바지셀라니 시라메나 스탕안조 파지 지메 파르진 투기여와 짐바 주전스와 준두 삼데 시랍스딜라 파르진 툭스기여와 다 대나네 타마디 셰러지 발진디메나 아니 바로디 침방가 되게 아니 산제지 공반데 톱투고 말해서 봐. 제가 산제지 공반 톱투고 말해서 딘데 인자 아니 탑단 딘베 쿠르스미도 베 셰러 공반 기셀라나 이스 셰러디 탑시 심바 셴뱅기 심바로 탑단 댄싱 세와디 덴바세야 돼. 아니 디 셰럽디 탑디 심바 탑 셴뱅기 잔죽sem다 닝지기 심바 딘데 닝지 심베 아니 셰럽디 텔레테네 아니 조바산지 고마토고 요 인장 아니 딘다와디 제세신 주심바게 셰럽 공바 제셀라니 시제 어디 인데송 레스로 탄다데.
Verse number 30 says, the practice of all the bodhisattvas is to cultivate wisdom beyond the three conceptual spheres alongside skillful means, since it is not possible to attain the perfect level of awakening through the other five parameters alone in wisdom's absence. So as we know, there are six parameters: generosity, morality, patience, joyful effort, concentration, and the sixth one is wisdom. So if one practices only from the first to the fifth one, the first five, one will not be able to attain Buddhahood. And it's only together with wisdom that the practice of six parameters will bring us to enlightenment. So in the verse it says that one should cultivate wisdom beyond the three conceptual spheres alongside skillful means. So we talk about the pair, method and wisdom, and method is sometimes called skillful means. So it's the practices that are about benefiting others, the practices such as compassion, for example. So such practices that serve as a method infused with wisdom will bring us to enlightenment.
그런데 족배 청죽 세도 식디 족배 청죽 족바스디 다 창마 좁딘죠 세고라 족바스디 창마 좁딘죠 장스디 견 탐제 바 족바 세와 족 고단이열에 족바 세야 될 견 탐제 바 족바 세버스디 견 탐제 매워 차버스 지야 매워 차버스로 견 탐제 장서디 제가 장서디 아니 먼저 로장네와 먼저 로장제 와 교육리디게데 당보 교육디 시베체와 먼저 노란저 강의디 시베체 이 강의디 세야기 탑랑 가려요디 시베체 탑랑디 시에서는 안에 딜라 동len체 배는 거란저 콘도라워지 나와 콘도 방부스설라 콘도 요어디 시고로 말라 콘도 도스나라와 다 콘도디 요어 시인데 콘도디게다 라마지버스 로마지버스 상마지버스 그다라 당무스스 주메 차로다 근데네 미시마지버스 그다 제가 다들 콘도디 야고려면도 이 매우스고도스 근데 콘도가 유가래 와 콘도님이 가래 콘도게 냠볼라니 참바고미야도죠 신라 뇌바치야 섬라 신라 펜도치야 섬 단도이나 신뱅 심디유나 신라 뇌베심 연구마라 어딘데 로장장장장장데 네 교응그리 탐제 파 탐제 매우슬라 아니 장세야디 교응그리 탐제 파 지겨말로 매우 차오들 장소 저장 산제세야디 상세야디 장세야다 상세니 지버레 난 먼저 배배가 칠라 상예스로 장줍스다 상세야다 장세야디 니디 전다 지버레 상스도 교원 탐제 파 교원 탐제 파 매우스 장스도 교원 탐제 파 매 개점 장모순 배 매우스스 그다음에 남바 산제 봤어야디 수수교원디 매우스야 요레스 이때 탑랑 요레스 이때 탑랑데 배주잖아 마음방 알아서 여기 심데 산제 나신 심직 차 요레스 어디시기 요레 장야 요레스 제운디디 다 네가는 삼로단제 아니 이제 공잡데 삼단 투비나 배편도 좀 요레스로
When we say perfect enlightenment, the word perfect refers to the fact that everything good, all the good qualities are attained. In Tibetan, it is the word chang in the word changchup. Changchup means enlightenment. So chang, the first syllable of this word, literally it means trained or purified. And we can say that it's purified from any kind of faults or any kind of stains. So how does one purify? It's through acknowledging that there is suffering, there's a certain quality that needs to be purified, and through knowing and applying the method how to get rid of this quality. For example, if I have anger, first I acknowledge that I have it. I see how anger makes me and others unhappy, how it harms everyone. And then I realize that I need to get rid of it. And I analyze what are the causes of my anger, what are the faults of my anger, what are the consequences. And if I gradually, through such an analysis, train my mind, and it goes together with cultivating the mind of benefiting others, then I will stop harming others. And in Tibetan, we have two words. We have the word changchup, which refers to enlightenment. And the first syllable chang is, as I said, it's trained or purified. And then we have the word sangye, which refers to the Buddha. And in general, these two terms are kind of the same. So the first syllable chang and the first syllable sang, they both refer to being purified. So it's purified from all faults, from all stains. All of that is cleared away. So now that we know that one can become enlightened by training, we also need to know that there is a method to clear away those stains, and we need to know this method.
춥세 청 춥세다 춥세 덴베 되래 봐 윤덴 덴바 윤덴 용수 조바 다 셔럽 덴바 아니 신뱅게 로이데다 덴바 짐바다 덴바 소바다 덴바 준주다 덴바 삼데다 덴바 준주 띵인진 좀 윤덴게 릭 탐제 아니 덴 윤덴 용수 조바 덴데 봐 인자 춥세 상게 세다 게 상게세 게세야지 공도 배배 되러 와야 예배 되러 와 니베 윤덴 다 타두sab다 용수 족와디 다 제브레서 족 춥세야당 게세야디야 전다지 버려 춥세 게세야당 춥세야디 유네 다 전다 나란서 잠블링난 다 미망고 쉬어지 유네 메베 온게 유네데래양 아니 셰럽다 덴바 탑단 덴베 유네 메베 온게 아니 뇨르다 상마 디스웨데여라 아니 산제에게 탑람들라 체와 매베 토네 강에 세야게 탑람 상마 체와 매베 토네 세기여라 산제로 난저게 강에 세야데 체베 토네 세기 왜인자 아니 체베게 데우들라 체와 연구여라 제산다 저야 말 잠물린다 마당 투바당 갸레당 다 여말다 체와게 체베 토네 베다지 내가 제바디 가두이나 동행녀야 냐냐래 제가 산제게 탑람 세야 될라 체와 매베 토네 예 탑람 세기 여러 제단디 무서지 춥세야 돼땅 게세한 상게 제가 알아서 디 베들 가르샤야라나 디 삼도는 야고여라 알아서 딩사 로브라나다 도와 프로페서 된데 망고 여러 와kan 게다 첨부된데 엄마 전주가나 건서 인지 아고베르던데 인지 ABC도 신기해 말아 안테네 야야야 로드도 되네 데 칼라르지 카브레 마브레 세브레스 파메게 아마다 봐요 망골라고라 데 카브레 디 칼라레 디 야브레 디 두자레 안데네 로드 야야 도도도도도 제네 제르다 깨제셰 야든지 차라 베낭 아 너마 당보 낭바 별 제레라 낭베 데레 아니 부익때 신기요래 그게 신기요래 낭저 치 로뉴슈 자직라 송주 니에라 야오름지는 송주 니에라 최치 고문다 닝지스나 가르스나 하고문도 코와스나 가르는 틱틱지 고도라 탄다 제 하고문다 즉 발라발라발라 랍딩 요르미시 타 리당 소당 메도다 두저 빼셔야 돼서 리든데죠 소든데죠 메도든데 하고다 아니 다 닝지 가르시기 요미 동니스나 가르세요 미다고스나 다这看요말 제신 다 롭종 제제제제제네 다 단다 두저 단다르지도 신데요라다 그 롭종 제외게다 세상디 가르지는 예게요 축축세 정축세다 상계세 예주요거든 nga ma shinyi ji shinya yo cha do yo ba nga yago me ba ji tanda yago cha yo di nga zo shin ba ina ani su su me jen nan la ji ba shu mi ya dang tang a re ma so nga jo re she sam dang go yo mo ra tanda gang yi ji na di ne ya se ji gang yi me we ne ga cha gi yo ba di shin ba ina ani sim na lo do ji ya dang sim na la ya ji 보아 리라 지산디 다 저는 망보 중에 진짜 대만 뭐 닝게요라 미가제니 녀브로요라 추기 식디 양자 망보니 녀바자만 삼로 망보 따라 아니 간장질라 칼라드마스는 트와지 레야요 딜레스나나 아니 다 되네 야고요라 제가 수수수게 삼로 따다 두즈리도 틱딜레 하고도 춥자 장춥 다 인지식을 가르라기는 부들라디 네 야고지 하고 마서라 딩에 레가 마라다 미가제 레가라 춥자디 삼다나 빼오다라.
So, we spoke about the two words, Changchup and Sangye. Changchup is enlightenment and Sangye is Buddha. So the first syllables refer to the same thing, which means to be purified or to be trained or purified, which refers to purified or cleared away all the stains or faults. And then the second syllable, so these words are chup, changchup, and sangye. So the chup and ge also refer to more or less the same thing, which can roughly be translated as fully developed or complete or perfected. You can say it's the qualities that Buddha has, like fully developed. Buddha has wisdom, Buddha has the quality of generosity, morality, patience, and so forth, all those 6 paramitas, all the necessary qualities. And we can see that in this world, since people are lacking those qualities, they create a lot of problems. And instead of, also they're lacking knowledge. So instead of solving problems peacefully, people try to solve problems through violence, and that only creates more suffering, like when one country starts war with another. But since Buddha has developed all the good qualities, he has all the methods in his hands, and he can solve any problem without violence. And that's why these syllables, chup in the word changchup and gye in the word sangye. So everything is fully developed. And we can see through the example of well-known professors we heard of. Before, when they were just little kids, they didn't know even the alphabet, they didn't know the ABC. And then their parents gradually explained to them colors and letters and words, like what is white, what is red, what is good, what is bad, what is food, and so forth. So parents taught them. And then gradually they became who they are. They became knowledgeable professors. And likewise, me, for example, I was born in Tibet. I was born in an environment, in a Buddhist environment. I know Tibetan language, literary and spoken. But until I was 21, I did listen to the Dharma teachings, but I didn't really understand. I heard the words, I more or less could imagine what compassion is, or emptiness, or impermanence, but I didn't understand well. I could clearly understand and see what is when somebody says a mountain or a lake or a flower, but Dharma words didn't really the meaning of them didn't really, how do you say, like flourish in my mind. And then gradually I started learning about Dharma. I became a monk. I started learning about Dharma, and at least now I understand the meaning quite well. And so our state of mind at the moment is that we're lacking knowledge, we're lacking qualities. So before we didn't know something, and now we know it. Before we didn't have something, now we have it. So the state of having and knowing is exactly this ge, the second syllable in the word sangye, fully developed. And if we develop this knowledge, if we know peaceful and non-violent method to solve any problems, we have confidence arising in us and enthusiasm. And sometimes it happens that some people come to this class and after some time they get bored. In my opinion, it happens because you probably don't reflect deeply on the words and the meaning of what is being said, because it's very easy to listen to the words, but it's not easy to actually take them to heart and to understand the real meaning behind them. And for example, we say in Tibetan Sangye, but you say in English Buddha. I don't know what a Buddha means in English. No, I don't know what it means for you. So unfolding, unpacking those terms, those words will bring a lot of benefits, and you'll receive a taste of Dharma. So I encourage you to do that.
Oh yeah, that dichedu dine de sigdedo tabdan denshi kursum midogbe kursum segda sumdi garesna bena hanzo jimba tanyara wala peshana dirwa jimba tangse yuche rwa ani jimba tongbo barani che ani jimba jinja larwa lempe tongbe tong jimba ranji ngowo che 아니 짐바 보라니체 아니 짐바 땅세 유체 코스무스 데레다 짐바 동보버데 가르와라 녜고 짐바저라 니체 아니 짐바 땅세 유제로 디숨 코스 미미과스 조스 상마 데마마도 삼당 그래서 왔다 코스 미미크세 데라 디 짐바데 데 삼가 땅 가보도는 가보도 자야 말하고 내시나 칼랄 삼당으로 와 아니 나 칼라 사보거라 근데 사자 칼라여라 아니 칼라 사오시여라 근데 자주 레즈도 되게 상마 아라신이 마도르스 지난시 따자 따와보 따지 스도 아니 되게 상마 라신이 마도 자질 레즈미 남샤들어다 띵안주 티난 로데라 되게 상마 라신이 마도르스 데마 마도르스 상마 유단 깨는 데네 준대버려서 어디 대상은 당고래서 그런다 된다 도도 들어
And then in the verse it says wisdom beyond the three conceptual spheres. So those three conceptual spheres are sometimes they're also called the spheres of an act. We can take an example of generosity. For example, there is a giver, there is a recipient, and then there is the action itself. So those three, the object, the donor, and the action, they do not exist truly. They are not established as truly existing. You can also think of more simple examples, like food. Myself, who needs to eat, the food itself, and the action of eating. So we should think of them as not existing truly. We can apply to other examples, for example, to the viewer, the object of viewing, and the action of viewing. So all of that, anything that can be divided into those three spheres of an act, they all came about due to causes and conditions, and therefore they are not existing truly. They are not like solid. They are existing independence.
어디다디 식디게 된다듯이 다 먼저 신에는 데메 항동 공부를 다단다 먼저 신에 진인 상화다 다음에도 왜 항동인데 요 말아 이내 양 먼저 단답에나 신에지 냠링 안에 항동 냠리 님도 지야요 냠도 배나 먼저 chāngz māngchā tā sāñima zindā yungu yorwa, sāndirwa, sāñima yungu yorwa māngchā. Kadui na lū chama nyashā shēgidwa, lū chama nyashā kōm shēgidwa. Yāndi, mīkwa lū la mīk chē, ngē lū la tā, dewa nēgā la, di shinē chātā kore, mīkwa lū la mīk chē tērwa, simdi lū la tā chē tē. Lū la tā wa khānshī la, lū jī, gō tā, mīk tā, kāngpa tā, tēndē, simdi lūg nāndi la dērwa, dī nāng la dājē chē dēwa chidwa, dājē chīnī dī, lāngdōng chāti chāgā warwa, shērab chī chāti kāra, tīne lūdi, mīkwa khānshī lūdi mīdāk warē, lūdi dāmi rē, lūdi tsāngwa rē, lūdi yākbu rē, lūdi nīngchē warē, lūdi tsokwa rē, dī sāngwa dārā, mīkwa lūla mīkchē dēdē yarwa, simdi lū sīnchē dērā, lū sīn, lūdi gyuwa dhūnyi rē mārē, lūdi yāgwa rē mārē, lūdi dzogwa rē mārē, lūdi gyuwa dhūya rē mārē, dūs tāyōn dī, sherab jī chā, shīnē jī ngā nē lāngdōng sā jī. Tānda, bē ngā rāngzō yō tānda jī ñamlēn tōngmē kāsō tā, lē tāngbō wā kī, samlō tīndē jī kā nē, yār jē tō nē, jē mē, yā nē zē tōr rē dē, bē mīkbā jī kā nā, jī kāma jū, kāma jī, kāma nī, kāma sum, chūzū jī, chūzū nī, chūzū sum, mīk shīmbē kā nā, 제바치야 들려는데 대표 누가 좀 쉬고 차는 거라 어디 신내진 안에 항동의 냠린시다 게 당하라서 총네 상로단단데 장배이나 내가 신달래 편도 배천부여 그래서
So then we spoke about calm abiding meditation and special insight. So these two, usually we say that these two should go together. The majority of you here come to Sunday classes, and you know that I speak about awareness of body quite a lot. So when we concentrate, we put in attention our body, that would be calm abiding. So we keep the focus as strongly as we can. And then I ask you to analyze what's going on in your head, what's going on with your eyes, what's going on with your legs. It's like scanning or analyzing. So that is this analytical meditation part, or special insight. So focus on the object is calm abiding, and the ability to distinguish what is going on, like this body is impermanent, this body is good, this body is bad, this body is pure or impure, or any kind of any kind of imputation you have here, is the quality of the special insight. It's the wisdom that differentiates clearly. And as beginners, we might start with 1, 2, or 3 minutes of such a work of focus and analysis together. And then gradually we'll become capable of staying in such a meditation for 1 hour, 2 or 3 hours. And the more we do that, the stronger this capacity becomes. And if we learn it, it not only benefits our meditation or practice, but any kind of work we do.
아데 유 레가 지야라로 수수 레가 그런 망보지 레가 지기 유나 레가 지도 심디 레가 강 샤고라로 레가 지도 심 레가 마시나 아니 레가데 야고 부다고 야고 마주메체 아니 보스 콘도사 아니 레가 네 비야 냥가도 제가 안 수수이네 레가데 야고 마주나 수수이네 유민도 알아 미수이나 수수이나 지 야고 좀 마주나 아니 유민도 아 제가 내 가르 된 거라서나 셈디 네베 레가가 마네베체 벤 레라보든데로 칼라 소데게나 셈디 칼라 소야간라 삼마다나나 상상은 사망다 상상은 칙도야 하바디 가와뉴도 베제다나네 칼라 칙도 사망다 아니 현자 쇼든데 제거더라 차가 차마자비체 칼라나나 진이죠 근데 제거도 진이마 아니 던데 칼라 상망아무차 야 진이자서나라 장아모나라 양 차자 야 장아모데 차사구차 제가 셈디 레가 라마네나 강의실도 하시다 두즈 상마 두즈네 정다 때고라고 그 차수디 차디 장아모 쓰고 있나 장아모 신부 쓰고 있는 엔진이 자고는데 당지 한일로고 있나 좀 장아모 야고 써라 야 칼라신다 쓰고 있나 될 차잡좀 칼라가는 진이 먹고 잡는 칼랑아모 찬 산이 도마라 제가 근데 자 디 디중기 레가가 심바 레가 칸치게 예베디 대가가 심네 토베이나 레가도 부타고 용거래서
So we engage in many different activities, and it's considered everywhere that it's good when a person doing their work focuses on this work well. So, for example, if you go to your job and you don't concentrate on the work you're supposed to do, then your boss gets upset and there is a possibility that you get fired. So even
sound
oh sorry
sound.
okay, I'll start again, sorry.
You're talking yourself, that's very good.
Yeah, I was talking to myself. Yeah, I just turned off my sound because there are lots of noise around, so sorry. Okay, I'll start again.
Yeah.
So we usually engage in a lot of different activities, and if we do not focus our mind on those activities, then it creates all kinds of problems. For example, we go to our jobs, and if we don't focus on what we're supposed to do, our boss gets upset, and there is a possibility of being fired. And whatever we do, if our mind doesn't stay concentrated on the object, then we don't get the result we want. I mean, even if we talk about this simple thing like food, sometimes we get distracted and we put too much salt, or we put too much sugar, or put salt where we're not supposed to put salt, like in the tea, or we put sugar where we're not supposed to put sugar, like in vegetables, or we burn something. It's a sign that we're not concentrated enough, and our lack of concentration creates lots of problems. So such a training brings benefit even in our everyday life, and whatever work we do, it becomes a quality work with good results.
당기 먼저 사안도라 당기 사안도라 사안도 따대라 디 칼라스니 저라 칼라스니 모난도라 칼라스 차라 답이 벨레드간 루라 그 벨레단도 데 상로신다 단 체크로스 칼라 벨레드 치로 칼라 벨레드 치로 루자라 알고 더 없다 야 양자 서울에 제가 심대지나 디금다고 내가 디 아야 당이 개무실랑도디
Recently I went to a restaurant, and there was a person who was distracted and was looking away while like putting food on the plate. And obviously, when you're looking away, the food just goes somewhere else. So, well, she had to cook again. So this happens to us when we're not concentrated on what we're doing.
미가시 한국 노는 공원이 내가 미신다 한국 솔도라
Sometimes, sometimes people wear wrong shoes when they go out, and it always looks funny.
이마 주다 게 한국 먹고 공사래 주다서 타워져라 이마 언제들 타워져라 그거 한국 팀원이 수시 거진다
Galakirangi mishimbagi hango kwembe.
말이 미신다 게 한국 거래를
Ale,
주다서니 타워져라 그거 한국 팀원이 공사래
there's a monk whose name is Cheda, and there were a couple of times when he wore my shoes instead of his own.
I'm looking, they're different shoes. No, their shoes not there. And I call him, you're wearing my shoes. Oh, sorry. 진짜 힘들지래. 진짜 셈바디 지간 만에나 아니 학과도 경zo 맨산인데 나네 배 내가 잡으려고 맨노네 산에 뺏사라로.
So all kinds of problems come when we're not concentrated enough. Especially, it becomes a problem when you have to take medicine. You have to be really careful about that. Otherwise, there is a danger of doing something wrong and harming our body.
Oh yeah, 다 신내던 항동 단다. 먼저 우중을 되네요. 상다여다. 우중 우츠용 파야 따와딩하래. 아니 우츠용 파야 어디 계지계지 요로 그 미다고라로. 우 미다바데. 우츠당 파단 네 주어지 미다고라는 신바데. 우라 따시면 우 미다고인 바로와. 아니 우데 네 우가지를 때네. 우데 수고게 아니 거기 먹어지를 때네 용거요와. 그래서 상화시용데 대배 신내징 안에 항동 냠nen시던 게 탑람다 심샤당 탑람제라 어딘데 곰잡드나 야고여를 산산으로
A good way of training ourselves is, as I said many times before, is breathing meditation. Because breathing it clearly demonstrates impermanence, so it changes moment by moment. We watch how we inhale and how we exhale, how body moves with that, how breathing moves in the body, and by watching it and being concentrated on that, we really develop our ability to use this method for concentration.
어야 당저 쇼단디 쇼레가 숨주소직디 조인다라
Now let's do the next verse number 31.
다디 던다도도디 랑기 추바스 수수 추바당 수수견 네 수수 마다바이나 네 제 배낭한서 최치기 인스로 학과도 태과천배 최치기 인스니데 태과천배 최치기 인스니데 네 셴뱅게 셴라 편도치고 여러와 셴라 편도치 켈린 차로와 네 태과천배 최치기 셴라 편도치기 라길라길라야 수수 랑진지 광기 미션라 콘도단 아니 녀다다 동예 서비이나 디스 용시 그래서 최배게 최바 인텐제 아니 최바 코랑게야 최마인게데 제시 그래서 딘데 인자 당보 소소 그 유라 따제제는 알아야 좀 가르도로 눈도 가르도 주술라 말렉바 차카르 가르도 이게 라라 네벨레 가지도 밀레네 가지도 어두서 따제에 오치고 요레스 따디 직디 ton다데 디 시기 요레스로
Okay, yes. Okay, so verse number 31. The practice of all the bodhisattvas is to scrutinize oneself continually and to rid oneself of faults whenever they appear. For unless one checks carefully to find one's own confusion, one might appear to be practicing Dharma, but act against it. So it sometimes happens that we say that I'm a Dharma practitioner, and especially when we follow Mahayana, we need to be very careful how we behave and what is behind our actions. Because behind every action that we do as Mahayana practitioners should be a mind of benefiting others. Otherwise, while just saying words that we're practitioners, we continue following and being under the control of our anger or any other afflictive emotions. Instead of practicing, we will damage our practice, we will harm ourselves and other people. So in order to be a practitioner, one of the most important things is to analyze what are my faults, what are my own confusions, and to work on them.
rangi chuba rangi mada na susu gyune susu daje ma shebi ina ani mi shinji ki chorang la gyune de do lam de na ngazo kondo sa da de gywa da ni chuba da raya mi shinji ga chorang be kondo sa bo do chorang jin ji sa bo do chorang nga je chim bo do la wi na ani de ga la yang ja kondo chero do da ra dile susu daje chen ra da nga je sa bo do nga rang jin ji sa bo do ani nga mi la 배 ngarje tsawor wata ngarje di ngazo 배 kondolanya gyujin zojirwa susu la simgi gyön kari yume di susu daje chebi ina ani da ngar gyön di do da ngadi gyuwa tango do sirwa ani gyuwa khandes tango do se susu shingi do na tabshi che susu shingi mi do na mi shinda la dinde ji gange dinde chewe kola ani samul khande tango re se ani geji ti ani lobjong che ani kom gyab dinde chigi ina ani ko yarje dugurwa che zandi rangi tuba daya de da kechimbo shiojire songo yorero.
So if we do not analyze our own faults, then it becomes really painful for us to hear when others name those faults, like when others say you have such a strong self-cherishing, or you're such an arrogant person, and by hearing that we feel even more angry, so we have even more afflictions. So in order to be effective in working on our afflictions, it's better to recognize and acknowledge what faults we have, and see, for example, I have arrogance, and arrogance is the primary reason for anger. So I need to change that. I need to change those qualities. And once you have acknowledged and once you've realized what's going on inside you, you can then proceed, you can solve the problem, you can study and reflect and meditate, and then gradually you will improve.
Dirwada. Da susu pangore mi shijige mi juba tanje pangse de mi juba de chena ani je khasawara zongwa la ju shan yu so ji ani de ani juba ta la kago shoje re de yoro che zan din du susu gi gyen de shen andi shebe thone ani tu gyun du ro tu gyun du susu le chuba lo de maruma khar do ro 닝에 미랑라 네바 가르치기도 미신라 네바 가르치기도 셈디 개지슈디 최단 단 단답값디 택보 준비 최 인자 셈디 신변기 셈단 대화직 차기도 미도 로 삼노당과의 계정을 땅아도 란진지디다 빼디 쉬우지 조불레 영고라 빼디 란진지디 레야디 레라고 쉬우지로 하셔서 디인디 단다 값디기 아니 추림세야디 랑진지 송화들 거고 갑디 게세 chanju sembe게 수림도 저 송야디 랑진지 송지 랑진지 마용바 치고 여러 하셔서 계지슈디 니 셴뱅게 셈디 요나 아니 랑데와 셴데와 랑신 로숨 상마 데와다 셴뱅게 셈스니디 다 하자 누가 첨부로 하셔서 디다 상마 갑디 태고침에 추 냠레송 인자 아니 셴뱅게 추 수수 셈디 셴뱅게 로 ni shen la pendo chi gi do min do ta ji chi me nge mi shen la ne wa ji gi do sa mil shen la ne na ne ran le ne yong da ra
So we need to abandon our faults through our own effort. It's almost impossible to rid us of our faults through outer conditions. For example, people who are put in jail, it's really difficult for them to change because even though outer conditions are kind of developed in order to subdue their mind, inside it really doesn't change. So for change to happen, we need to continually work on our afflictive emotions and to continually analyze what do I do that harms others and how that what I do also harms myself. We should analyze and check whether our attitude is of benefit others, because it is so easy for us to fall into the self-cherishing mind. And if we take, for example, the quality of morality of ethics or morality of bodhisattvas, the core of this practice is to get rid of cherishing self and putting others in the first place, in the first position, by understanding that all sentient beings want happiness and they want happiness the same way as we do, and that their happiness is of great importance. And then continuing analyzing, do I harm sentient beings? If I harm, how do I do that? And how does this harm me as well?
hoye dang zo shodang sumji sonyi di do indar wa shodang sina sholega tikje sumji sonyi di nyomo ngi jese shenda gi yesir wa dang zo nyomo di chik thado nga je tunsem tinde wangi ane mi shenda gi nyeba lingna wa mi shenda gi gyon yor wa gyon thongura mi shen gi gyon nganzo lamsa thonggudo wa ane gyon di ling je ta gyon mangu dozu chi mama koko res mangu she dewi na 디 파르가 펜도 유파샤 수수 냠도 요래 수수 미 아니지 미 뭐된죠 미래야 미존자냐 중대니 미두자지 바다 수수 요네 냠도 그랬어 예발이나 다니 냠주베스 근데 인자 네 택바침로 택진 다 택바침 뭐 찬주그 셈 냠네 진이지 인식이 요나처럼 근데 셈제신게 예바 밀라야 셰주요 말에서 바바라발라 수이발라발라 셰주요 말에서 디시에네 펜도요 말에서 저는 디자 저랑 택진기 최념내 진이지나 미신기 견 셰주요 말에서 견 셰베이나 네 랑기 연대 냠도 그래 대자마세 네 셴레 누그리미시 펜토고 말에서 저는 아주 셴레 네벨레가 지기요 말아봐서 찬주스 대과춘 택진기 택진기 냠내 진이들적으로
Now the verse number 32. The practice of all the bodhisattvas is never to speak ill of others who have embarked upon the greater vehicle. For if under the influence of destructive emotions I speak of other bodhisattvas' failings, it is I who am at fault. So we often, out of jealousy or competition and similar emotions, we start talking about the faults in others, and sometimes this brings more harm than benefit, because people get upset and they don't really change because of your words. They just get upset with you. So if you think of yourself as practitioners of Mahayana, as practitioners of Bodhisattva path, you shouldn't engage in such a talk. You shouldn't condemn others and like pinpoint the qualities of others, because instead of benefiting others, very often it brings harm, and we need to be really skillful in that. And while we're not, we should refrain from that.
와 그러나서 미신기 견 남산 통고도 알아. 미신기 견 남산 통용도 와. 아니 남산 코용도 와. 아니 수수 거대와다 통대와디. 계시 미신라 방고 셰위나 아니 펜 가르도도 와. 미신들 뇌야 미시 펜도하면도. 세상에 택진기 택바줄 택진기 냠린신이 전주선배 냠린신이 돼요. 미라 ngodan gyudan kanjitone manewe lega chigi yoinza 미신기 견 여와디 견 도스 라베이네 양 바르벌 누구 열었다 간다로 누구 열에 미카제 셈투도 열에 아니 란레 누구 열에서 란레 누구 열 가르서는 미신기 더 미디 견 잔잔 뚱데니 미지레샤스 땅아디 토부 지금 해서 디가 되이나 베 네게티 잔잔 셰데기도 다 깨져도 년이 좋으면도 마 미디님도 토부 지금 했어 제가 알아서 배 민가제 사고 콘도 사고 란진지 사고 아 미경 잔잔 셰데니 드님들 수인은 돈이 좀 말아라 디 수인 알아서 수인은 이제 기워지다 대워지다 야보시고 그요래 아니 파저버디 쫀잔잔 셰데데 쫀그리 거연지 셈바 지우면도 알아 디 미수인은 안수 상물로 대화 서 대화를 차두고 요 동행 두고요 말에 동행 때오니 미디 님들라 대화 지금 알아 제산디 견 미신기 견 통보다가 남사 신다 지지 야야시 마마셰디 니 시주요 말에서 좀젠디 니 뇌야 미시 펜토요 말에서 다들 돈도도더라고더라
It's very common that we see others' faults immediately. We understand them right away, and we tend to not tolerate it and say it straightforwardly. And it really doesn't benefit much because it confuses other people. Sometimes those people become really angry with us. It harms us as well, because people don't want to be our friends anymore, because they expect us to be too straightforward, maybe too blunt. So as Mahayana practitioners, as the practitioners of Buddhist path, we should be very careful not to harm others. And we, if out of our own arrogance or competitiveness or other emotions, if we decide to say those things, they may hurt people. And as we know, everybody wants to be happy and not wants to be in suffering. Everybody wants to befriend an easygoing and nice and friendly and soft-spoken person. So we should be very careful about saying such things to others.
안다디 전주선배 돈받나라 요래 전주선배 돈받아서 먼저 전주선배 돈못 말리고나 롭종 체지 저거 유빈자 최고 유빈장에 결혼해서 시에나 경요 말했으라 제산 전주선배 돈매나라 아니 분라 견주 돌아 참바 뽕 정도 분라 견주 제초가 요 말해라 알아서 네 심제 담제 아니 그 분레대라 파마레데 파마진요 요래 학과도 최전에잖아 라마지기 전에 최순년이 되는 아주 더 주변도 저기요라 알아서 다 늦어라 다 최디 단다 현재로 지 차로다 지 Tijungi Shenyong Surge Zina, and it shows any the Gigang Surge, Lobde Gigang Surge Steam. And it dig Loma de Bundo said the Chatugo that the dig the Casore Sangmoro Tiglel Haurojik down Tap de Orajik Soya dig. And Chanza the Chado down Joe, Chu, the Chanza Shivji Lavoro Shivji. Casore that Kala that delay. 제가 딱 그래서 그래 최디 지도 내단라 밥제 쉬우지 마제도네 부탁고디다 라주요다 부탁고디 매우 차도요라 디나네 건저 냠렌치에 내가 좀 망고지 라주고 님도 매우 차도고 라고요만 다간다
I'll tell you a little bit about what is written in the Bodhisattva vows. I think it's not a problem because before taking Bodhisattva vow, one needs to study. So it's written in the Bodhisattva vows that one is not allowed to speak of faults of the close ones, like parents or relatives, and in particular, faults of one's lama, of a spiritual friend. These days, Dharma in the West has become really strange. I find very often Dharma teachers are considered something like school teachers on the same kind of stage, on the same level. And by this consideration, the feeling, the status of a spiritual friend is lost. And Dharma itself, the teachings, they become really kind of easy or superficial. And this quality that is built on a certain type of hierarchy, it's lost. So we need to be very careful about that because it's very common in the West.
그래서 예 맞아 최세디 최고랑 요바디 마시기 요라 저기 천안주 대화 여바 짠냐시나 아니 최디 천안주 대바당 아주 최단 단다 최단 아주 심 퉁고요 말아 최단 심 마디면이자 아니 아주 심을 강이 되게요 아니 대 심다 퉁이 시에되나 최단 마디면지 시에제 되고로 하다간다 최지 마디면지 시에되면 심디 최단은 돼요 그러나 요 말아 그 등산 딘데 시에니데 가부지그라 수수 다와던 팀보다 오신 다 데뷔하고 싶지 시기도 당 앞에 나오도도 라그러 아니 수수쌤디 란진지가나 때데디 저런 빼야고 그래 저런 빼 정도다 저런 야고도 빼레샤 라위나 다 티자디 빼야고도 쓰라 란진지디 첨부선이디 빼야고도 라그다 아니 다 란진지 지겨 말에 신비 제고래 란진지 제버디 쭈빼 노래 라위나 다 미디도 최셰싱이면도 티페도 자도 가르스나 수수녀라 수수녀는 문에서는 핑계요라 돼요. 그래서 안줄 디로서면도 안 가서 지저나나 디시다 아디 지산 견자시 차고요 돼. 그래서 최부다고 시니 미두들 기둥용용 차야 김제 되다 간다. 거기서는 그 최부다고 시니 표주 심들 딱다 누구요라 누베이나 아니 디교다는 핑계를 숙청을 쉬우지. 당연히 이 망고지다 네 용고요 말아. 야 짜자 최배야 그래. 최배 스마트레스. 최배 스케보레스. 최rel하가 요 말해서 라비나. 나 진짜 야고 싶더라. 전타야니 쌤디 최나를 단투요 말. 당겨요 말 다간다. 란자 내대는. 강에 지고 녀지 되고다라.
I find it sometimes amazing and amazing in a bad way how often people consider someone a good teacher when a teacher praises bad qualities. For example, in the West, teachers would say something like self-cherishing is a good thing. Like you have to cultivate this self-cherishing in order to be successful. And then people hear it and they say, I like it. I like this teaching, and I think this teacher is really good. But in reality, real Dharma teacher should say something that hurts or harms our afflictive mind, which means that it would bring some pain to the students, but it's a good pain because of change. And then some people would say, no, this teacher is bad because he's pointing out that self-cherishing is a bad thing. And the thing is, our mind at this point is not concordant with Dharma. If it was concordant with Dharma, we would find it nourishing whenever such things are said. But since our mind is not concordant at this point of time, every time we hear about how self-cherishing should be, we should rid ourselves of self-cherishing and so forth, and other afflictive emotions, we feel bad about it. So this is basically the reason why Dharma teachers have, like real Dharma teachers, have very few disciples, because they teach in a way that disciples get rid of their, let's say, bad minds and develop their good minds. And in this way, mind follows in the Dharma direction. Otherwise, Dharma becomes really superficial, and people just face the same problems again and again if they're kind of supported in their afflictions.
뭐야, 당저 쇼르가 숨지서숨도 지도 인데라.
Let's do the verse number 33.
숨지서숨 데르다 닝구 왕이 편제제 주시 퇴상군배 자원념이 자시에 진단 진다 친나라 작법방에 계세라는 있어. 닝구를 녀바다 굴디르바 녀바스도 다 롱저르바 다 대왕의 편제 접어져봐. 제 녀바 지 텐데 통다 접어져 돼요. 니 접어져 대비나 편제 접어져 대비나 퇴상군배 자원 퇴바다 삼바 공부 시험도 왔다 바로 파주 접어져 마잡 초보자 되나 다니 곰 잡제 퇴바체 삼바체 곰 잡 두저거나 요 말이다. 베디 베감다다 마지면나 대구다로 알아버도 다디 데제 디셰기요래 타와나 아니다 두절 시기요라 가서나 진다도 저게다 닝구르 먹고 치면도 아니 닝구 녀바당 꾸르디세야 되다 겹저는 땀 데로 땀을 야부도스야 야부도 저런 쇼레샤스 라데 가위나 아니 딘데기 자시 수수게 자wo 가위니고 니 김바진다 두줄라니 차과 제베 온게 닝구일 차과데 용거라 데제네 니 데랑라 차과 신라 다원데 용 대용한게 니 저버저 딩아이 딩에 진다이 딩에 거니 지지 니니 있체 안딜라데네 저버용 저버데 용데 sem바투데 다 로존체 퇴바치에 요마네 삼바치에 요마네 공바치에 요마네 퇴성공배 자원 냠르고 요레스 김제든데 인자 아니 두달라야다 자시 김바진다 두절라 차바 봉그레스 다 개지주디 녀바다 굿딜라 아니 가버치 요마레스 티셰거다.
Verse number 33 says, the practice of all the Bodhisattvas is to let go of attachment to the household of benefactors and of family and friends, since one's study, reflection, and meditation will all diminish when one quarrels and competes for honors and rewards. Here, the main words are in the last line, when one quarrels and competes for honors and rewards. We're very much attached to our family and friends, and we get distracted in many fights with them in trying to get what we want, and we spend all this time to that, and no time is left for practicing Dharma. Another part of this verse talks about the rewards, which honors and rewards, which is in particular dangerous for ordained people, for monks and nuns, because while one is attached to being praised or attached to being offered things or money, and keep thinking that this is my sponsor, this is my thing, this is my, then the mind becomes really confused and so distracted with outer things that our practice of study of the wisdom that is gained from study, reflection, and meditation declines. So we need to do our best to abandon such an attachment.
Tadina la tangbo nyewada gudi wangi sayadi unzo jigdin chuje wangi ne jigdin chuje ge ne nyewa chungna kawa nyewa chungna mi kawa sidi susu la nyemba tenyi chungna shivu kagdo nyemba matena badde peji matena na magawa tena kare matena kare shida hasa ge mido ngone jina di unzo di nyemba chinchu jigdena shivu kara matena shivu dusa 미지기 꿀디스 저 야구도 쉬우래라는 쉬우까 아주 두자들라는 마가와찬으로 직된 추제 나게다 디자인이 대소용 거다 디 가부치 요 말에 직된 추제 니보다 꿀디를 가부치나 단다도도 수수 라완라로 딱한다 라완 매우 차로
So these two words, honors and rewards, they in particular refer to worldly dharmas. We talk about the 8 worldly dharmas. So one of them is liking when we gain something and disliking when we do not gain. We tend to be very unhappy and upset when we don't get birthday presents. And on the other hand, we get so happy when even little something, when we receive little something from someone. But in fact, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't make any difference to our life and to our practice. And the same way, praise or criticism, when somebody says you're good or somebody says you're bad, it influences us quite a lot, and we lose our freedom to that.
딘데 인자 아니 타간다 요앙란즈 체살라 잠불링도서 다 예바스데다 직든데라 저버 잡데기요라 다서서 담년다다 딘데라 저버 잡자리잡 아니 배샤 돈다라다 잠불링 사마다 배샤 돈다라 툭데라라 아니 추다 놈다 다 딘데 돈다라 툭데라 사자다 다디 저버 잡데나 아니 다야마면도 저버 잡데나 추지야 고비다 균면도 알아
In this world, it's so often we see how we and the people around us argue with close ones, with their family or friends, and especially people argue and fight for money and for land, and all of that makes the mind it takes the peace from our mind.
딘데 인자다 녀바다 굿딜라 가부치요 마레스탄다 도도데
So in brief, we shouldn't wish for honors and rewards. That's the key words in this verse.
디나네 굿딜라드라 굿디사데다 굿디사데 식 야고레스 라베이나 가 야고레스 말라나 딜 칙로와 칙 야고레라는 가 야고는 차고마레 두자레는 가 두잔 차고마 카레르 모네시느라 아라서 디 이지로 체데 아니 야고레라데니 쇼가 두자레라데 쇼두 아니 데스스 라마베 라르고다 모네시느라
The word kurti in Tibetan refers to honors, and we should remember that if somebody says that you're a good person, I do not become a good person just because somebody said that. Or somebody says you're a bad person, I do not turn into a bad person if somebody says that. So by believing and liking or disliking honors and praise and criticism, we lose our freedom.
제가 미 야고래라는 야고 차야님도 두자르는 두자 차야님도 디나 수수수 강요받데 수수 하고 오라라 수수가 대수수 따지신다 수수수임이 수수하고 오라 미 야고래라는 야고 차거나 아니 꾸지 스페셜되는 가 부다래라들라 부다 차그래라 공자문다 아니
So instead of losing our freedom to those words, we should understand how what is the reality? Am I good? Am I bad? What am I? And if everything was so easy by simply saying words, people become that, then we could easily say, I'll give you money, please tell me that I'm a Buddha. And then all of a sudden I become a Buddha. No, it doesn't happen this way, right?
얘네다 밀레니얼 뒤에 상마베디 차서다 부드 차서 근데 배셔되는 다 라라그라 잔딩 교라그라
Otherwise, those millionaires, they would become Buddha very easily because they have so much money to give to many people, and many people would say to them, "You're a Buddha," so that would become Buddha. But it's not the case, right?
그래서 네 내단의 시베이나 단단한저 소셜 미디어 나들 퍼프샤 쇼다 카시에디 라이크 되는 쇼 거기다 때문에 가려야 돼. like thumbs up 제디 쇼 가로 thank you so much. 티 가려라. 아유.
And if we understand the situation, we would not fall under the power of wishing to be liked, like we have this in social media, this thumbs up and likes and everything, and it does influence us, but shouldn't.
Oh yeah, that is shower.
Okay, we'll stop here for today.
Do we have questions?
We have question.
Just one small question.
Do I use
Yeah, right down here. On verse 32, it said the practice of all the Bodhisattvas is never to speak ill of others who have embarked upon the greater vehicle. I'm just curious, why does it isolate or especially mention greater vehicle? It doesn't say don't speak ill of any others, like lower vehicles, or why is it isolating greater vehicles?
Alas, 레레레. 이 택보 첨부라고 그러서는 택보 첨부를 주에 강사도서 찬승이 돈발링게 여러와. 찬승이 돈발레면 인자 아니 심진을 신라 견주 최초고 말해서 좀 된대지. 까제 여러와. 디 까대단 게두고 여러와 하셔서. 왕안도 택보 첨부를 쇼마쇼 수술 안 와라. 그러와. 근데 쇼상은 디 딜람 케고로 하시자. 어디 찍내 딜람리. 니네 디 줌쟁 가래라는 게 당기 시해 봐. 미신지 녀월렘 바이나 퍼버 뇌면이 펜토게요 말해봐. 간산 에그 녀바디 간산 빌레시에 대비나 간산 에딜 뉴그림이 지금 펜토고 말하고. 근데 대자마세 많이 수술에 뉴그로 하잖아. 미숨을 내용 것도 하잖아. 상고 뇌베란 신선선 덤베 제버제로 하다. 학과도 티진라 슈베 티진게 냠내 진이 창주생 domba켈니 제나 아니 수수게 분자 심진기 견저 조금 말해서 덤베 까제로 팀스를 다 간다로 봐. 그거 줌진 삼단 팀스 인자 나 인 팀메도 저 팀스케요 말하고 그 예심제 신기 된치긴 스켈린식이요 말아 수수 된치지 이 팀에도 라니 타버터야 삼단데 오면 심지 신기 타버터야 삼단 거 요마라고 어디 юм젠데 레스라
Yana dila skakadros to yorwa. Ngarang so chinchup sempe kalor chinchup sempe lamla jubuina ni techem button sola nyeba mima rwa. Techem pagi mi simbala nyeba mima hakuso. Ni ngazu techem bala nyeba
말에
mima
티말
simbala.
티말 티말 티말
The
티젠을
indicatola the draws to the practice
티말
of all
티노르
Buddhists.
티노르지네 티노르
River.
택바출라 슈베 칸산 키식도 디나 택바출라 슈베 칸산 라스라고 먼저디 먼저 티젠을 슈베 칸산라 아니 견적만서 칸산 키라야 뭐라 택바출라 슈베 칸산라 니와 미마스라나 아니 거야 누구여와 택바출라 슈베 칸산 키스데 데라레도 하디 봐
The Zhang Kansaki Nieba. Mere. Go to Mierishan.
간사하게 예와 미마스 데르와다 테보
The
틱진을 슈베
Dina.
간사 데고 데 테보 틱진을 슈베 간사하게 예와 마초고 마레네 라마슐을 슈베 간사하게 예와 마초고 마레스 데르와 틱진을 슈베 간사 예와 마웨나 예와 차여레 디과 망한 싸기요라고 기부 담발라 메나 네 딘데스 코네 디기요레 데구나
There was a bit of uncertainty whether about the particles in Tibetan language and whether it's translated in English correctly. If there is no mistake in Tibetan language, then it is translated correctly. So the question is, why do we speak about those who are on the path of greater vehicle? Why we're not allowed to speak ill of them, right? So Genla started explaining why we, as followers of Bodhisattva's path, should not speak ill of others in general, because first of all, we take vows of a Bodhisattva, and in the vows there's a rule that we should not do that. And on top of that, if we say to others and we're lacking skill, then instead of bringing benefit to others, we're harming, and again, it goes against our Bodhisattva practice. But then I asked Genla like more precisely about us being on the Bodhisattva's path, speaking ill about those who are on the same path, on the Mahayana path. And Genla is saying that it's because the fault of this action, if it harms another person and this person is following Mahayana path, the fault and the what do you call it, like a drawback, the karma is harder, is bigger, because this person has taken greater vehicle.
아과데 먼저 아니지 chanjuk sem genye de zola nyebaling devina ande diwa chemboro ade agwade ni geweshinye da ni sanje da tindela gyönjewina azo mi fewajile gyönjewele pejodi da gyönjena diwa chayoro 가르스나 코로나라 다 이제다 대바진이 망고 예외 인자 아니 더저기 셈나나 포도 연구로 하셔서 로 디디 줌젠도 와딜레 줌젠도 하고 먼저 미니 예외 직 팀에 간산체로 직 라마슈 간산체 직 티젠 간산이나 아니 티젠 간산들 gyön셰 디 gyön직 외셰위나 디바디 단도 차이 예외 차이요 gyön 논주 가서래 디바제 예믹 차이다 레딩 엠바 레슈 차이다 근데 땡도 when chanju semyora
Especially if we speak about those who have bodhisattva vows, who have taken bodhisattva vows, such as our spiritual friends or like those higher beings, the bodhisattvas, the Buddhas, if we compare our karma from criticizing those who are on the path of lesser vehicle compared to those who are in the path of greater vehicle, our karma is much heavier. from this action. If we turn our words, complaints or condemnations towards those who have taken Bodhisattva vows.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Do you have a question? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to put in this so the translator can hear you. Wait, what is the microphone? Here.
Yeah.
Hi. I was wondering in the point 33, why do we talk about reward and respect? So I know that Geshe-la was talking about praise and I'm just searching for the praise and criticism. So I know how to relate the reward to the praise, but I was wondering why in the translated text is called the word respect, which I always rather perceived as a positive thing, not as the criticism, if I see it correctly. Do you understand the question? I think that you have maybe a little bit different translation.
I have a different.
actually.
There is written honor, right? But
Honor.
it's respect as well. Cortés is honor or respect, both. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I just realized that I've been just told that I have a different translation.
Okay.
All right.
But-
Then maybe.
Do you
then
still
maybe
want
I'll-
to ask a question?
Well, then probably not. I will probably have to see the translation which you have. Thank you.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. It's clear now. Different translators.
Different translation.
Translations. Different words. Different things. Different meanings. Ayo.
Okay, page 31. Daji Poke Ching May Tok Tram Ray Rob Link Jane Dag and Party Sange Jingu Make Te Oagi Drokun Nam Dakshi Wacho Pa Jetsun Lama Kun Se Rab Jen Jing Nam Ka Train Lake Tokyo Gyapatan Lo Seng Tim Pedro Me Sa Sungi Dro A Mun Sa Tak Tu Di Gu Shing Idam Guru Ratnam Due to the merit of these virtuous actions, I quickly attain the state of a Guru Buddha and lead all living beings without exception into that enlightened state. May the supreme jewel bodhicitta that has not arisen arise and grow, and may that which has arisen not diminish but increase more and more. Whatever slight positive potential I may have created, by paying homage, offering, and acknowledging my faults, rejoicing and requesting of the Buddha's stay and teach, I now dedicate all this to full awakening. I dedicate all these roots of virtue with the dedication praised as the best by the victorious ones thus gone for 3 times, that I might perform the noble Bodhisattva's deeds. May the King of Dharma, Tsongkhapa's way of Dharma, practice and flourish. May the omens of obstacles be pacified, and all conducive circumstances be complete. The wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. Savior of the snowland teachings and transmigratory beings, who makes extremely clear the path that is the unification of emptiness and compassion, to the lotus holder Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. You uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Munjinal's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplish magnificent prayers honoring the 3 jewels. Savior of myself and others, your disciples, please swiftly return. By relying on the 2 accumulations of myself and others in the 3 times, may the teachings of the conqueror, Losang Drugpa, blaze for a long time. And the prayer for the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche. Peerless teacher, assembly of the children of the victorious ones, Shravakas and Pratika Buddhas, victorious Losang father and sons, along with the lineage masters, all the objects of refuge of infinite lands, please bestow the virtue and goodness of accomplishing this prayer here and now. holding and spreading the Muni's precious and complete teachings. Through explanation and practice, you wore the armor of patience that is never discouraged. Incomparable, venerable Guru, to you I make requests. While striving single-pointedly for the sake of the victorious one's teachings, the sole gateway through which all benefit and happiness emerge, and for all mother living beings, you suddenly departed to peace. What a great loss. Nevertheless, through the undeceiving truth of the blessings of the ocean of the three jewels and the great ways of bodhicitta of the children of the victorious ones, may the smile of a reincarnation swiftly beam in glory for fortunate disciples. Thank you, Anastasia.
Good night.
Thank you.